Shalom Akim, Yahweh Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Kakadash, double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Grim Storm well, to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, preaching the gospel for Mashiach Yahushai in sincerity and truth and diligence of mind in these last days and times. Shalom, shalom, yeah. Pray the Lord Mashiach Yahushai continue to strengthen your faith. So you see on the screen just an old clip, discussing the tension between the East and the West. All right, the Soviet bloc and the West. All right, concerning concerning the nuclear tests, the nuclear atomic bomb, nuclear bombs, and all that stuff. The nuclear technology. Yeah. So this what happens, and this is just immediately after World War II. All right. So I'm gonna get a quick precept. I'll read this real quick. So this is Revelation, the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 14. It says, "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly." All right, so let me play this clip.
President Truman's dramatic announcement that Russia has created an atomic explosion sends reporters racing for Flushing Meadow, where Russia's Vyshinsky arrives to address the United Nations.
Mr. Kaczynski, have you got any statement about President Truman's statement on the atomic bomb?
Please, excuse me.
Does Russia have the atomic bomb?
Sir,
Well, what's your reply to me?
The Russian foreign minister maintains his silence about Russia's atomic progress in his address. He accuses the West of planning atomic war and urges the outlawing of atomic weapons. But he makes no reference to Russian agreement on international inspection.
Yeah, and that right there is prophecy, Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. The second war is past, and the third war cometh quickly. All right, and then you get this new precept. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5 says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." Yep, so the Most allow the so-called Smith to get their minds wrapped around that technology of making atomic bombs and all that, and this is the result, so that's what the world gotta deal with. All right, so this is the book of Isaiah chapter 54 verse 16. "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy." So that's Isaiah chapter 54 verse 16, and it's terrible. When you watch videos of the effects of nuclear tests, nuclear blasts, nuclear bombardment, even something as simple as bombardment, of cities, of the battlefield and all that, that creates a lot of destruction. And you see the final effect on the lives of people. You see the destruction of the environment. You see the effect it has on the creatures of the sea, the creatures of the air, the land, the trees, and all that stuff. Even the water supply. Okay, so it's what we call a Pandora's box. And what else? What other weapon does Esau have beyond the nuclear weapon? None. That's the highest he can ever go. And that's the gift that the Lord gave unto him, the power of the sword. Okay? And that's what he's going to use to destroy himself. All right, this elite Edomites, man, they've already built their bunkers. It's well stocked. They already have their fallout shelters, completed. So, hey, he's going to leave the pawns upon the face of the earth to absorb, the object of their imagination. All right, that's why we pray upon the Lord Hamashiach Yahushai, to deliver us. And when you read verse 17, it says what? No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. Yeah, and what are they trying to do? The main goal is to get rid of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, the so-called Latinos, and the so-called Native American. By them starting World War III, their goal is to eradicate life upon the face of the earth, And, hey, as much as they can take down, that's what they're trying to do, They're trying to upset prophecy. They want to get that birthright back. And that's the secret behind them looking to start World War III. So Isaiah 54 verse 17 says, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord Yahweh, and their righteousness is of me, said the Lord Yahweh. So that's something clear to always stick with, So let me play more of this clip.
Keystone to control. Secretary of State Acheson says of America's stand.
In connection with the President's statement that there has been an atomic explosion in the Soviet Union, I wish to emphasize that from the very beginning of the development of atomic energy, this nation has been determined to do everything in its power to proceed toward a truly effective international system of control. It would be deluding ourselves to get something on paper that was not really effective.
Well, they've been making agreements, for decades. So what's going on now? Folks are talking about the situation over there on the border of Russia, Ukraine, and the EU and NATO are concerned. And hey, it's getting crazy. Russia is saying they don't want Ukraine to be a part of NATO, and they don't want no weapons in their so-called backyard. Well, hey, that's a valid point, but at the same time, it's all part of prophecy. Because you know how things get when you watch all these so-called movies, it can be a coup, and then some band of miscreants hijack the government, and then they launch weapons, man. Just like you watching an X-Men. Yes, it's just crazy. They're trying to start a war to benefit their own agenda. So that's one thing, folks need to realize, man. It's difficult times we're living in, and all these are so-called arguments they've been trying to settle for decades, before the time our parents were born, before, the apostles were born. It's just hilarious, that we're just a few seconds, from all hell breaking loose. And that's why I pray for our Lord Hamashiach Yahushai to cover us with his angels, all right? So I get a quick precept, all right? So this is book of Psalms chapter 91 verse 4. All right, it says, he shall cover thee with his feathers. All right. Now I'll start from verse 3. Psalm 91 verse 3. Surely he shall deliver thee from the fowler. Right? He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, and from the noisome pestilence. What's that noisome pestilence? The nuclear missiles, man. The nuclear blast, the scripture says, is going to make the world roll to and fro like a drunkard. All right. He shall cover thee with his wings. All right. He shall cover thee with his feathers. All right. He shall cover thee with his feathers. And under his wings shalt thou trust. So the angels are going to have charge, from the Most High, to protect the elect in those days, of all this chaos and all this madness going upon the face of the earth. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. And that's where your faith has to be solidified, right? So play some more of this clip, and then
the President's statement underlines the importance of having an effective method of control.
Assembly President Romulo addresses East and West.
If the announcement made to Truman that the Soviet Union now has the atomic bomb is true, then item number 23 in the agenda of the present session of the Assembly will project itself as one of the most important questions that we will take up. The impasse that now exists regarding the international control of atomic energy must be broken. And
well, it hasn't been broken, right? Yeah, so it's one thing, man, to pay attention to, man. It's just getting messed up. So the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5 says this concerning the UN. That's based on Esau's agenda. Yet also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death. All right, that's exactly what those nuclear missiles are bringing upon the face of the earth. Death. And that's something that was bothering Oppenheimer, when it was discussing the Manhattan Project. So it was quoting one of those so-called Elamite deities. It's just terrible, man. A passage concerning the deities of Elam, and cannot be satisfied. All right, so you can't have enough. It's just a bottomless pit, man. It just keeps going down and down and down. There is no end to the mischief that they're up to. But gathereth unto him all nations. All right, that's your United Nations. That's your EU. That's your NATO. And his idea is to make this nation, the hidden from, into blocks of nations so they could easily control them. But hey, the Lord will change all that. And heap it unto him all people. All right, so that's the mindset of Esau's kingdom, man. The elites, confusion, and they heap it unto him all people, Babylon. That's Esau's kingdom, to create nations without borders. And let the corporations be in control. And it's just what you observe in these last days and times. So that's it there, Akim. The whole agenda for World War III has already been put in motion, decades ago, and it's inevitable, and the Lord even has set it in motion, before the foundations of the earth, because our salvation has to come, our salvation has to happen, and the idea of World War III is a requirement, so there is not going to be any salvation without World War III taking place, man. That's how the Lord has set it up. Certain prophecies have to take place, and when all hell's breaking loose, the Lord is about to deliver us. All right. So, Kal Halamullah Yahweh Bashim Hashem Bashim Kakadash, and double honors and salutations, elders and apostles of great mystery and rule well. until I came around the four corners of the earth, preaching this gospel in sincerity and truth. Shalom.